Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm your Cosmic Auntie, and this is going to be a tarot reading that explores what is currently being released at this time. I hope that this reading comes alongside you, encourages you, provides insight, synchronicities, validation to you, in regards to what you're releasing. As you pay attention to these messages, always tune into your inner guidance, yourself, your intuition. You know yourself best, okay? I hope and I design these readings to be like a tasting plate of energy. Take what you want, leave the rest, okay? So that being said, I hope that this is of service to you in some way and celebrates you. It takes a lot of courageousness to look at the places that often are being released. To really to bring your awareness to these places is very courageous, because they're often challenging energies, right? So thank you for being here. So I'm going to be using today the Star Tarot. It's like such a beautiful, beautiful deck. And the African Goddess Rising Oracle. So I hope that you enjoy. So the visual that I received for this reading was of like a old school like metal pole swing set with two swings. One was moving, one wasn't. They were both empty. So I get this inner child energy already coming into this space. What is currently being released? The Nine of Pentacles. And the Magician. There's an energy of releasing kind of this need for control that's coming through, like a need to, yeah. The Magician is very active energy, and the Nine of Pentacles is often depicts someone who has a lot of control over their environment. They've built a lot, but with the energy that comes with this card is often kind of having a notion of control over your environment. So there's a feeling of releasing or bringing awareness to. Yeah, bringing awareness to this realization, this understanding, bringing, if this resonates with you, bringing your awareness to the times you notice you may, feel like a desire to try and control everything. Yeah, and then we have the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Swords. So that feels also kind of like we also got the Knight of Wands, but I'll get to that. Nine of Swords is this energy of being kept up at night. There's this notion of this gnawing feeling, this stress, right? Like this worry, this like sadness, this energy that's just so hard that comes with the Nine of Swords. It's a mental energy, so it's like this really active mind, like when it comes to like reliving painful experiences or worrying about things that, you know, are out of your control. The Seven of Cups is literally this energy of like confusion and possibility, and I just feel like there's this notion of like releasing this need to over control, bringing your awareness to the places you know that this energy comes up for you in. Like, it's really deep. It's really, really deep, and I feel like you're charging into these places, torch held high, you know, coming into these places that and exploring the need for control, following that tether. There's this energy of like kind of releasing the need to like figure everything out. It's like there's been an awareness here where it just is starting, it just is exhausting. It's exhausting to try and like think and, you know, map out all the potentials, you know. It can just really drive you wild, kind of thing. Like, it just can really drive you wild, and I feel like there's an awareness of this, and that's something, yeah, there's a lot of work that you're doing in this area, if this resonates with you. Because often these places are learned behaviors of where we've learned to keep ourselves safe, right? To plan everything out, anticipate everything, and worry about everything, right? And when we first started this reading, the inner child presence, it's like, I feel like it goes back into these arenas, and there's this immense amount of light and warmth and patience being brought to these places. And with this Knight of Wands, there's this confidence, and there's this creativity, and there's this kind of movement here. So I feel like there are there's this element of release. There's been a really big lesson that has been explored here, and there's this stepping forward with such fire, passion, and purpose. My goodness. So we have the Justice card, and then we have the Emperor and the King of Swords. So the Justice card really, really wanted to pop out. We have the Ace of Swords as well throughout the entire shuffling process. So yeah, I'll show you. Such beautiful cards. So there's this element of balance, bringing things into balance. You know, the Justice card talks about exploring all the information and trusting themselves to find the path forward that feels in balance with your truth, with your truth. So I feel like there's this being able to like flip this energy on its head a bit. There's this notion of reframing here with the Justice card, and that kind of, I put it over the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Swords. Like, there's this powerful mind here, and I feel like there's this awareness of your powerful mind, and reframing this need to like figure everything out. Like, there's that's being released. However, there's this like there's these essences that are kept when it comes to being aware of how powerful your mind is, and how intelligent you are. Like with the Nine of Pentacles here, like, and the Magician as well, like, you are a force to be reckoned with, you know? You are a force to be reckoned with, and you make it happen. There's this real like conscious like co-creation here when it comes to building what you want to build, and building the environment. We have the Emperor here, in which you exist, and so there's this really cool kind of truth that's emerging through what is being released as well. There's this truth and this insight, this powerful insight, and there's which is assisting in bringing into balance, bringing things into balance. With the Emperor and the King of Swords too, like the King of Swords always brings in this like generational healing energy with it. The Emperor too, these two are really like, they kind of give me like humanity vibes, like thinking about like how there's a notion of like really reflecting on how you're wanting to show up in authenticity in the world and contribute to healing in the collective. There's something in that. There's also like this notion of family too, like generational healing. In order to show up in your family the way that you're wanting to in your authenticity. And the Justice card also brings me back to this conscious co-creation, like really taking in this like this mental energy and kind of reframing, releasing that need through practice, you know, through awareness, through practice, through community, skill building, all of this stuff that you've really, there's this whole huge learning process here. And through that, now coming to the space, we're stepping out in this, like, again, passion, purpose, direction, and have learned this ability to wield the power of the mind to explore, you know, the potentials. But with this conscious co-creation, there's also this awareness of co-creating with life, which is kind of leaving, there's this room for life to do what it do. And that is assisting in this sense of balance and strength and purpose and leadership that I feel over here with the Emperor, feeling you know, even more connected to your body, more connected to your mind, and really, you know, feeling close to your truth. And again, while being open for life to do what it do, being open to integrate new information and to continually evolve. But there's this present kind of energy with the unfolding of life that is just really quite beautiful, with this notion of releasing this, desire to control everything. There's a visual that I often think of myself when I find myself like really like being like really wanting to control everything, because life is wild. It can be really wild. So it's absolutely natural to find yourself in those moments, right? But I visualized, like, this visual came to me, and it was like, okay, I was in the shower, and I had a bar of soap in my hand. I was trying to grip it really tight. I was like really frustrated. I was trying to, wash my body, and I just kept slipping out of my hands, and I kept having to pick it up and pick it up and pick it up, getting increasingly more frustrated. And then I relaxed my hand, and the soap stayed put, and I was able to have more control over the process that I was finding myself, experiencing. And with the squeezing, I was locked in this loop. And so that's the power of awareness. And I really feel that here in the reading. All right, I think it's oracle time. Okay, what is being released? So we've got Gang Sarah, resistance. Yeah, there's this like there's this feeling of releasing, resistance, this need to control it, really like and there's this realization of how surrender, relaxing the hand, can actually assist in achieving greater control and kind of navigation through life. Again, the notion is to leaving room for life to do what it do, and trusting in your ability to navigate the experiences of your life and of life, and flipping this notion of needing to control everything to conscious co-creation, and feeling a sense of balance and flow and presence in the body, presence in the environment. Again, some of you may also be feeling like, releasing certain generational healing, which allows for generational gifts to, take up more room and to become more tactile with. Leaning into where you've felt resistance, and bringing the power of awareness to that place, to explore it, to bring light to it, to get to know it. What else? What else is being released? Like maybe 2 more cards. I want to show you them. They're just so beautiful. So here's Gang Sarah. Intuition. So the first thing I felt with this card, Queen Nandi, the first thing I felt with this card is like being aware of the power of intuition. And again, this notion of reframing, instead of using the power of intuition to try and figure everything out, and because maybe you've had to, right? Maybe this is again a place where you've learned to keep yourself safe, this hypervigilance, or really trying to anticipate everything, because again, those are things that we pick up in the chapters of life at times. But this is something I feel like you really become aware of and are learning to release, and again reframe the power of intuition to this kind of present unfolding of life, kind of this conscious co-creation, rather this the power of your intuition being kind of really spat out into trying to anticipate everything, and really expending a lot of energy, and it's very fatiguing, right? Like, so, wow. So Queen Nandi, Gangang Sarah. And then Atete, worthiness. Those are so beautiful. Yeah, it's just this beautiful, there's just this big kind of learning process here. This big cycle of learning. I feel like, you know, by the time you reach this reading, it's coming to, you know, a close, a fruition with this Knight of Wands. I feel like this is kind of really stepping forward into this, you know, next space. This Justice card too, this, and Magician, this presence with life and with the conscious co-creation, this room for life to do what it do, to trust in the ability to navigate life. There's this notion of like taking the good with the bad, and there's just this like just a real presence with that, knowing that it's like knowing that there are things that are, you know, outside of control. There are just things outside of control, and there's things within somewhat control, and there's things within our control. And one of the things that is within our control is, you know, tapping into the intuition. And I feel that through this process of even the intuition helping bring awareness to these places that are tight, you know, where you're needing to control yourself, wanting to control and anticipate everything, to practice and healing and dedication to exploring those places, and through that being able to flip it on its head and use the power of your mind and intuition in exploring the potentials, while remaining curious about life, being curious of the unfolding of life, while feeling the power of your free will. And through that, there's my long-winded reason of getting to this is the sense of worthiness of feeling safe in your body and safe in your environment, you know, and like showing like love to yourself, to those places where you did notice you were trying to control everything, showing love to yourself through that, because again, they following those tethers lead to very real experiences in which, again, those spaces or those walls, those blockages, those reactions or responses and sensations come from. And with this generational healing card too, like where there's generational healing, there's also generational gifts. So through this process, generational gifts, ancestral gifts, spiritual gifts are really taking up more space, and I feel them at the fingertips. You know, I sense there's a deeper mastery with learning how to wield your power, wield your gifts, and you know, manifest and create, co-create with life. And with the Nine of Pentacles here, the Emperor, like I sense, you know, you're a mover and a shaker, and you really you know, put your money where your mouth is, and you create things that are really quite profound, successful, creative, warm, And yeah, so what a cool reading. Like, honestly, there's just, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for identifying this, you know, desire for control, exploring it, you know, peeling back the layers of it, and through that process being able to reframe it and move forward with this it's like this secure kind of sense of self. That's what I feel like. There's just this, with this room for the unfolding of life, if that makes sense. It's like, sometimes I find it hard to conceptualize all this energy into words, but yeah, it's just a really cool reading, and I'm proud of you. Proud of you for being able to flip it on its head and, you know, learn to, you know, explore the power of your intuition for to explore your intuition as like a tool to assist in the unfolding of life, rather than a tool to try and anticipate everything. And that has assisted in great power. And I feel like through this release, through this release, there's so much more control that you are feeling, you know, and there's just like this kind of profound awareness with that, and an excitement to explore life and all it has to offer, and continue to build the life of your dreams, knowing full well that you have what it takes to pivot, you have what it takes to navigate what life has in store, and life is also here to back you up and assist you in creating what you're wanting to create. So good for you, and I love you very much. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps me get them out there and to call in community, because I just love what I do, and I want to reach as many people that resonate with my energy as possible, and help and assist and walk alongside as many people as I can with these readings. So also subscribe if you'd like to see more, and leave me a comment if this resonated. I love hearing from you. So Auntie out, and keep doing what you do. You're amazing.